o'clock. Good chicken.
Well, we've been back here in Texas, I guess, for about 2 days now. And I tell you what, no joke, Mel's outside right now. She's in here with me. She'll tell you the same thing. We are literally ready to get back on the plane and go back to the Philippines. She was kind of excited to come here, just to tell you the truth, you know. And when we were getting ready to leave the Philippines, she felt like that she was ready to come to Texas for a while. And we got here and she realized instantly how much more of a life that we have there than we have here. How much she enjoys her yard there, her plants there, the kids there, the family there, our house there, everything. And the things that seemed like were aggravating her while we were there, you know, little family dramas and stuff, all of a sudden look minuscule as soon as you leave away from all of it and you realize the bigger picture. And I knew that already. I tell you, I didn't want to come back here. I'm just be straight up honest. I love the U.S. I love Texas. I'm a proud Texan, but I'm to the point in my life, and I've told this in past videos, I want to be there. And even though this is a wonderful place here, I'm more happy there, and that's what's important. We're already even packing ballot buying boxes for heading back to the Philippines. Stuff that we want for special dishes that we like to cook. I mean, you can't go wrong, man, with some rotel right here, man. This chunky rotel, diced tomatoes and green chilies. Of course, these Louisiana fish fries and all. And we found this before at S&R there in the Philippines, but we never seen them there with it again. But my God, it's some good hot sauce, and everybody there likes it. And they had it at Walmart here. Man, I tell you what, this is some nice hot sauce right here if you've never had it. So we decided to buy a couple of those and send those. I would have bought a couple more if they would have had any more of them at Walmart. So I'm sending this right here. And a bunch of you will instantly know what it is, and some of you won't. And what this is a submersible well pump. Now, I'm just going to give a little 101 here real quick. For you people that don't know about submersible well pumps, and maybe you're going to live in the Philippines and you're going to have a well there and all. Well, these come in different sizes, different horsepowers, okay? And this goes into the bottom of your well, and this is where your pipe, usually like a black pipe, which is easy to buy in the Philippines, super cheap and easy, clamps on right there. And these are your power wires, and you'll get some wire, it's usually some special cable, and it's got some waterproof ends that you'll connect these wires up with, some special connectors and some heat shrink that'll pretty much waterproof those connections when you make them up. Now, you don't want to get too big of a pump. If you got a really small well, it'll suck the water out of the well too fast. So say you got one of those that's just got cylinders in it, and you know it's just 35, 40 foot hand dug well, and you put a great big old pump in it, it's just going to suck all the water out faster than it can leach back in and replenish. So you don't want to over pump your well. This one right here is a 1/2 of a horsepower, and it's not meant for a great big deep well. This one here would be just about perfect for our well there at our house. And this is the electric motor on the bottom right here. The motor's on the bottom, and this is the pump section right here on top. Let me zoom this camera back. It's got like a negative zoom. It'll kind of fish eye a little bit, makes everything look tall and skinny. But so this is your motor, and this is your pump, and then the water coming out, and it draws the water in right through here, sucks it in right in this area right here. So that is a submersible pump. It's got a channel here for your wires, and these are made to go inside as well, inside of a casing. So if you got a drilled well, this is made to where it will fit inside of a 4-inch pipe, slip right down in it. That's why they make sure the wiring, everything's smooth, so that it don't have anything it grabs or binds on, and it'll slip right down in there. It has little eyes here on it, and that's for connecting your rope or line or cable for pulling on it, because you don't want to be pulling by the pipe, and you don't want to be pulling by the wires. You could damage it or pull the pipe accidentally loose, and you end up with a pump lodged in the bottom of your well. So you want a good marine grade rope, cord, whatever you want to call it, to put through here. If you use the cable, it could rust over time unless you got a good stainless steel cable, maybe a galvanized chain, something like that. But you don't want anything that'll really tangle up. You gotta be careful about using a chain. So you would attach that, and this is your actual lifting point. This is your pulling point, and it's got one from each side, so when you pull it, you'll rig your rope up so it pulls up even at the same time, and it's not trying to bind it at angles coming up in the well. Well, to tell you a little bit about this, it's a 110 volt one. It's not a 220 for the Philippines, but we'll talk about that in a minute. This is a really good quality pump, and these are pretty expensive. And this is like I say, a good quality pump right here. I've had this pump sitting out here in storage, I bet you every bit of 15 years, and I haven't used it. So I knew I had it there. I went and pulled it out of storage. I filled a barrel up full of water, hooked wires up to it. Boom, it come on instantly, and it was gushing water out like a fire hose out the top. It did not mess around at all. I was very pleased for that, and I ran it several times, no issues. And so I'm gonna send this to the Philippines. Now let's go back to the voltage. I know that I said it's not the right voltage, but me being the tinkerer that I am, I actually have two different little setups for solar there in the Philippines. I have our main one for running our house, which is on 220 volt and with those big lithium ion battery banks and inverters and all. But then I have a secondary system that I use some, and I just need to expand it a little bit. And I've got a true, not one of these fake labeled, but a true big 3,000 watt inverter for 110 electricity, and it's down there right near within 10 feet of where the well is, in my garage there, and the well is just outside my garage. And I'm going to run this off of the 110 from that secondary system to pump our water. Now over in the Philippines, you'll see water tanks on top of houses everywhere. It's a common sight through many countries, not just the Philippines, but throughout many countries. And that is like a water reserve for them. And here is the reasons why. One thing, if you live in the city and you're on a municipal water, there's water mains always breaking. The municipal pump system will go down or something, and you won't have any water. And so what they'll do is they'll store water up on a tank, and that's your reserve, and that's going to get you by until the water system's back up again. And then let's say you're out in a province area like we are, and you're on a well, and you're pumping water up to that tank. That's what they'll do. They'll turn a pump on, and they'll fill that water tank up, and then they turn the pump back off, and they just gravity feed their house. If you've got a stable power source and you got a pretty good well, just like we do right here at this farm. My well house is right out there. Our water has always been off well here. We have no other option. There's no municipal water or water utility district or anything that services us here. There's one that way, about a mile. There's one that way, about 3/4 of a mile. But we're in a gap that about 10 houses or so up in here or less. We don't have municipal water. We're all on wells right here. So I don't have to have a water storage tank up on my roof in case my well goes down. My well's pretty dependable because I have a good high quality 1 horsepower pump like that Submersible out there. Yeah, the power goes down here, we can't pump water. It happens. The point of me telling you all this is that I'm probably going to eliminate that water tank on top of our house. I don't want the added weight there. I plan on putting a roof like for a greenhouse on part of that up there, and I don't really need that water reservoir on top of our house. Now, all I really need is this submersible pump right here, and being that we run on solar, I shouldn't have to worry about a power outage leaving us with no water. And the worst case scenario is if my inverter went out or something went out on my 110 system, that all I have to do is take one of those step down transformers, which I have one big enough that can run this pump there already, and have it on there and still have water going even off of our 220 volt system using a step down transformer. So I'm going to send this pump over there. I've priced them over there. They're pricey. I looked at some and they were just not of the quality that this one here is, and most likely that pump will last forever. The one I have out here in my well right now, I put same brand as this one. I put it in there I think in 1994 or 95. It has ran so much water for so many years and never a hiccup. Never has it ever been pulled back out again or need to be serviced or nothing. It's been there since 94 or 95. So, you know, pretty reliable. We have a pressure tank there already with a brand new pressure switch. That's all we need for this. And it'll come up there, pressurize that tank. Switch will turn the pump on and off as we need. And we have a really reliable pressurized water system then. So there's a little schooling on that pump. I can still have a backup for water there, and I could choose to leave that tank on top of the house and the solar 12 volt pump that's down there now, but it doesn't pressurize though. It just pumps a little small stream of water up. I could leave it intact and functioning as a backup for water in case maybe this pump does go down or something, anything happens, and I still have a secondary system. It's there in place right now. Probably shouldn't mess with it. Probably should just leave it sitting there and have that. But the thing is though, if you don't run that water through that tank on a regular basis, that water is going to get algae in it. It's going to get stagnant. You're going to still need to use that water out of that tank and replenish it on a pretty regular basis, or you're going to have to go up in there and treat it, you know, and shock it like with some Clorox or things like that, and now you're adding things into the water. So we'll see. I might put that tank down lower somewhere and still use it to fill up full of water to have as a backup, and then not be up in that hot sun creating algae faster. Well, that's a little one-on-one there and a little bit what's happening here. I'll have some more videos coming out. Let's see here. Well, that's a little bit of one-on-one of what's happening here, and we're just trying to play catch up around here, and we're already preparing to ship boxes and some parts and things that we're going to need. I'm going to cover a video of some things that we're sending, and maybe more than one video. It may be included in several videos of things that we're sending, and I'll just show it when we're packing it. I don't have nothing to hide, and so might be ideas that you want and you might want to send ahead for yourself while you're going there, or you've been there and there's things you're missing from home. You might be able to get a family member sent to you, or you're going to come back to the U.S. and have a visit like many of our friends are right now, and you can send those things ahead to yourself and have them there in the Philippines. If you're wise, and the cost of some of these imported items into the Philippines, what you pay there, it might be worthwhile to pay the $90 to $100 for a ballot buying box and send all of that stuff to yourself, if it's things that you feel that you really want. For us, we live a little bit out of the city. We find it kind of expensive to go into S&R and all. It's your time, it's your fuel. You go in there, you end up buying stuff that you really don't need because you just get excited when you're in there. Here, because we're shipping it, we will pick the things that we truly want and nothing more. And we find that spending the $100 to send it over there, and the difference in prices pretty much will end up covering that. And we only end up buying the things that we truly want, not get excited because you're there all of a sudden in a store it's got all these imported things. Well, I hope this helps you out. I'm gonna get busy here. It's time to do a little farm work. I'm gonna get out there and get busy on that. And let's see how the tractors start up, and let's see how all of that turns out. Everybody, take care, God bless, and we'll see you on the next one.
Special occasion today, birthday, anniversary, divorce.
It's his birthday right here. Right here. He had a divorce, now it's his birthday. I'm paying for it, that's fine.
I got you. Good chicken. That's the best. Here you go, sir. Here you go, sir. Thank you. Ha 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 ha!